GSE peeps, dangly peeps, and family and friends, and anyone else who's stumbled across this channel. It's Dangly Bob, and as you can tell by the title screen, we are now back in Kerbal Space Program, or Jebediah there floating around. I thought we'd have a go at the missions, which you can find in the second screen here. These Kerbals, by the way, I just noticed, they're carrying little jetpacks. That's for the Kerbal inventory system, which we were playing with, and it's one of the mods. It's more of that in other videos only. But there's this video here. I wanted to have a go at some of the missions in the Making History pack, which you can get to add on to this. You get to those from this screen here, the second screen as such. I've just noticed he's got his little Kerbal inventory system manual with him as well. Anyway, so scenarios. Okay, this looks like the missions you sort of get in game when you start playing in career mode anyway, so cancel that. It's these missions here, because these are actually part of, if you like, the Making History pack, the Race to Space. And we are going to start at the very beginning. Haven't played these at all, so this is going to be very much a let's play and let's see how much I can cock it up before we endeavour to kill little mini Kerbals. Create mission vessels. So now I can see. Okay, those are the missions there. I'm missing some of my mod packs, but perhaps the mods, but they don't run maybe in the missions scenarios. But there we go. Right, so we have to reach 5,000 meters, and then to go across to the Island Airfields, which is out to the east, so that's fine. It's fairly easy to do, I'd have thought. This is sort of very similar to the first missions, where you just basically have to get off the ground, and that was about it. It's fairly easy to do. We have to be limited by our parts, and we can't exceed a certain amount of fuel. Now, okay, this it's a bit more of a challenge because you're a bit limited in what parts you can got. We've got the Sputnik Probo-Dobo kind coil. That's my pager going off, but it's fine. It's a stand down message for one of the teams. I'm just going to flick down through here. Right, those bits are not overly useful. There's not much else. We've got some fins. Some steerable ones and some non-steerable ones, but that's the only engine we've got, which is a solid fuel one, so we can't control the throttle on it. Right, and yes, right, nothing much else. Okay, so our options are a bit limited, so there's only going to be a few ways we can actually achieve this. 5,000 meters isn't a problem. We could go straight up, but it wants us to land over by the airfield in a way, so we'll have to. Got to go for this. Got to go for the solid booster. It's the only engine there is. I can limit the thruster. I can limit the fuel. I can limit the fuel if I go down to. Can't see. Yeah, that would save a little bit of weight. Would stop it getting us too much height as well. Don't necessarily want to go stratospheric for 1,000 meters. We do want some steerage way though. I've got a feeling one of these that I don't think gives us any steerage, the basic fin, and I don't think the Bodine Stay Putnik has any reaction wheels, so we're going to be a bit stuffed. Maybe. Parachutes, going to need parachutes, so we want 3. If I put 2 on, they're balanced. Put 1 on, it's going to cause a bit of imbalance because it's such a small vessel. Let me have a think. Yeah, no reaction wheels. No SAS either. So that's going to cause us a few problems. So I'm a bit sort of limited. It's not I've got an idea. It's just, you know, what do we use? I've got a feeling if I want to steer and we want to get anywhere, I'm going to have to take these fins off and put steerable. Crikey, they're huge. They are enormous. Do I go for 3 or 4? Let's try 3. Looks a little bit uncentered, but let's go for a start mission. And thrust to weight ratio is huge. I could limit the thrust to weight ratio by taking off some of the thrust. I know I've reduced some of the weight, but actually that's given us less weight, but the thrust weight ratio has gone up. I need to perhaps reduce the thrust for it. But anyway, your goal is to reach 5,000 meters and to guide the K7 rocket over there. Well, just to show you where the island is, there you are. It's not quite on 090. We'll come round to about 120, 130 maybe. So once we take off and get some stability, which normally happens at about 100 meters per second, you can normally tip over, and normally if you're doing a start of a gravity ascent, that's where you to start, but this is going to be a little bit different. Now, the Smart ASS here means that we could plug this in here, but actually I'm going to plug this in. I don't know if I want to use Smart AAS or try and do it manually, but as you can see, the fin's trying to take it over to 80 degrees now already. But right, I've got no SAS, so if I don't use the Smart SAS, it's going to have to be all handy-matic, and it's going to be a little bit wobbly. But sorry, thinking on the fly. Right, full throttle, and let's eject, and blooming parachutes. Staging. You need to always check your staging, and this is something you could need to do within the vessel build, really. But you can do it on the launch pad here, but you just need to remember to do it. So, right, add an extra stage, move the rockets down, or rocket, and leave the parachutes to the last minute. Now we are going to go off at about, if I'm doing this manually, about 120-ish. How much control I've got this? It's a little bit twitchy. You can rotate, oh crikey, rotate round, and yeah, little pop up. No, that didn't last very long. Okay, we're up to our 5,000, but we are going to climb up to the apoapsis, which isn't huge actually, but I'm nowhere near that island over there, so not 100% sure if I can glide that far. If we look at the map screen here, you can see where we're trying to land to. Sort of a little bit off angle wise as well, but just miles away. Right, so let's rethink. Don't want to restart the mission. If we come back into the VAB, maybe play with a couple of other sort of parameters. I don't know whether or not I'm just carrying enough fuel. We're going to want more fuel. Obviously, I can't carry the whole fuel because it's just way too much there. Put parachute, a single parachute. But yeah, need to reduce the fuel in a minute. But let's put 2 parachutes on. That's balanced me. But obviously, it's more weight. Definitely need these steerable fins. Go for 4. That would give me more directional control. I'm going to drop the throttle, say down to 50%. We also want to sort of perhaps drop the weight, so my thrust to weight ratio. So looking at the thrust to weight ratio up there, that's still quite a bit. But yeah, well, let's just see if we confirm file override. Yes. Yeah, I don't think I needed to actually make the ship again. I mean, a tiny little ship like that takes 2 ticks to make, but I think I can open the ship next time and just pull out the new one. Why it doesn't give you the ship there? Oh, I've got staging again. Oh. Right, reload, restart the flight, change the staging, and try again. So, yeah, now the fuel should last twice as long because I'm only using half the power. Get up to and start tilting it over. A little twitchy. It's quite twitchy. Should be going roughly in the right direction now. Go on, pop over. Without SAS, this is incredibly twitchy. I'm sort of going over towards the island a little bit. Pull it a bit south, like. But that's it for thrust. Right. Well, that's not going to be anywhere near enough. I don't know whether I can. I'm still climbing up to the apoapsis, but I don't know if I can pull it that way, change the direction with the fins. Theoretically, should be all right, but as you can see, I'm still falling way short there. Way short. But so I need to extend the apoapsis. So I need more fuel. Probably got the thrust. Reducing the thrust is the right way to go. That's my parachute's opening, I hope. Yeah. I don't know if I can sort of glide or change the glide path once I'm under parachute. I mean, they're not open fully, but theoretically, looking at my horizontal speed there, not 100% sure. Looking at the missions here as well, can't quite understand what the missions are. Right, okay. We'll come back to that later. I'm definitely not gliding any great distance if I am gliding at all, so we're back in the VAB then. I'm going to try and put the parachute there, and if you press this little hash button here, you can alter the amount of fuel you have down by number rather than by slider. So I'm tempted to take the thrust down a little bit more. Don't know what to, 40 maybe, and then you can see where we've got the amount of fuel I can have to within 0.005 of a ton, and just wondering if I could I manage with 3 fins. If I took a fin off, that would give me a bit more fuel, so I can swap this round to 3 fins. I mean, it's not a lot of fuel I'd be giving myself, but that's yeah, it gives me a little bit more. Let's try that. A bit more again. 280. 280 is DOP on 3.3 tons with 3 fins, and a parachute. Now I've got a feeling that putting the parachute off centre like this, you don't balance your rockets, particularly really small ones like this. They can be quite a problem, but we'll continue and see how this goes. Remember to change the rocket parachute. Increase that. Oh yeah, no, without even having to. Oh, this is because I've used 3 fins. I haven't got sort of lateral and longitudinal stability, which makes it a lot harder to steer. I'm really struggling to get any height. This is a bit of a no-starter. So yeah, straight back into here. And the first thing I'm going to do, because I forgot to do it last time, is put that on top of there. Now, is that going to cause problems? It looks silly sitting in a little hat. I'll put a little face on him, but let's try that. Oh, I forgot to change the blooming parachute rocket thing again. I love this being interrupted by the doorbell. Where was I? Yes. So, I'm going to try this. Reset that. Looking good. Got some stability there. Tilt it over a little bit more. And just passing 3,000 metres. I need to bring it up a little bit more. Up a bit more. I think, yeah, I'm going to hit the 5,000, but I'm not close enough to the island. It's not bad. Definitely hit the 5,000, so that's the altitude achieved. It's whether I've got the distance now to hit the island bit. I'm going to be a bit short. Because tends to creep towards you as you fall anyway, particularly once the parachute's open, and you don't follow that same trajectory. So I need a little bit more on the length. I'm not really stuck with what I can do here. This for the first mission, this is quite tough, and finding that we need to. So I could mix the fins up, because these fins are a bit lighter. So I could mix, say, some of these up with the directional fins, but that doesn't save me that much weight. But you know, we're not talking about we're not talking huge weights here anyway. It's about getting as much fuel as I can, so I've got as much thrust as I can to get the distance I need. And these are not directional, I don't think. And the solid booster engine, it doesn't gimbal, so there's no steering. There's no steering in that at all. But thrust to weight ratio, if I bring that down even more, that brings the thrust weight ratio to just over 1, which is great because it means it would work. But delta V doesn't necessarily change, because obviously you're using the same amount of fuel, you're just using it slower for the same velocity change, but I can pack a little bit more fuel now. So I'm going to play with this a little bit more and perhaps do a couple more experiments. Bring you back, but let's see how this one goes first. I have just upgraded the PC, by the way. Well, fixed it. It was failing slowly, and just upgraded to a 4 GHz chip, which hopefully should make some difference, certainly in video. So it's trying to ramble and fly at the same time. No, I've got no directional capability there. It's just going to go straight up and straight back down again. So I do need to change those fins. And yeah, I was telling you so I've got a better processor, slightly more memory, and something that doesn't crash every 2 minutes now, which is partly why I haven't released many videos recently. Not that the last series I did of Astroneer was particularly popular anyway. I believe that people seeing it were my family. I thought this was going to be a bit more Astroneer based, actually, KSP. So originally, when I was looking at whether I was going to start playing KSP, try a couple of directional fins and a couple of stable fins like that. That saves a little bit of weight. But yeah, I was looking at whether I was going to change. Yeah, I need to bring that weight down quite a bit, actually. Yeah, so I was whether I was going to play Astroneer or whether I was going to play KSP. And Astroneer sort of, even though it looks a little bit sort of comic-y, bright colours, etc., it sort of appealed to me. The crafting and resource collecting I loved to bits, and this doesn't have the resource collecting. You can with KSP go out and mine ore, no need less than that, and you can sort of turn that ore and convert it into fuel and stuff, but it's not, this isn't a resource collecting game. This is sort of the, it is the working out, well, like this, problem solving, which hugely appeals to me. Right, let's try that then. I mean, weight, got all the bits I need. I mean, the only thing that hasn't really been a stretch on this is the number of parts, because I could, number of parts I could use. The only thing I haven't tried yet is joining two boosters together, which would give me, no, because that would give me, okay, so you can tell I could reduce the thrust to next to no, there's hardly any acceleration there, but we are heading the wrong way. Oh, this is very, very floppy. Oh, no. I'm going to have to, there's a bit of a dead loss this, I can't come back. Frankly, what the problem is, there's not enough thrust there, I think, to make it stable enough, quick enough. Once I'm on this sort of trajectory, I just can't recover it. Never mind. So I was saying what I haven't done is put two boosters together, but that would put me, I still couldn't have more than a certain amount of weight. Put two boosters together would take up a huge proportion of that weight, so that's perhaps not the way to go. Let's have a look at this. These three things here, right? This has got the centre of mass, the centre of lift, which is to do with the fins, because that's not going to make too much difference to the centre of thrust. Now, your centre of mass needs to be it needs to be in front of the centre of thrust anyway, but if they're too close together, then it becomes impossible to, it gets all a bit floppy. You need a bit of nose weight, like a dart, because that's what gives it its directional stability. So I'm just going to have a think about this, and I will bring you back. Okay, so I reckon I got this cracked now. Single boost, single rocket here. As you can see, I've filled it with as much fuel as I can, 280, it takes it up to exactly 3.3 tons. The boost is limited to 30%, and I've put the parachute underneath the probe core there, the stay putting thing. I don't know whether that's going to work or not, but we'll certainly find. So this should give me the maximum amount of boost I need to stay stable with the amount of fuel I've got. I've gone for 3 fins, which I know isn't as easy to fly, but should be able to get there. Come on, it makes it very, very floppy. Come on. Oh, what for some SAS? I'm determined to do this by hand and not use the mech gem. I need to come back over a bit, fly this completely by hand. Now coming up to 4,000. My apoapsis is well above what it should be, so 7,000. We are heading to, if I could cut it now, I'd cut it now, but we're heading in the right direction, and we're heading beyond the island, which is looking good, and my solid booster luckily is just about giving out now. So just coming up to apoapsis, and luckily because we're in the atmosphere we're slowing down, so actually I didn't need to aim beyond the island, luckily. Didn't need to sort of think about trying to slow down too much. I want to try and keep, go on, just glide a little bit further. It's, got to slow down almost too much. Yeah, so aiming beyond the island is the right thing to do, but then just marring those clouds there. Running one of my mods is the environmental visual enhancement or something, Eve. It's produces these little wispy clouds, which I think is quite good. Also produces, if you look at the map here, cities, which I haven't spotted because I've been too busy watching the nav ball. But next time we take off with a big rocket, be sure to watch out for particularly at night, see some cities below us, rather than just strange blank countryside. Well, there goes our parachute. So it didn't take the Sputnik off. That will fully inflate. I suppose your parachutes do inflate, but I've got a feeling I'm just too far away from the island. This is becoming tougher than I thought it was. But, 1,000 metres. Any minute now. There it goes, fully open. Hasn't ripped off the Sputnik or stay Putnik on top. We can accelerate down to the sea surface, if that makes sense. There are mods out there. There's one called Scatterer, which gives you more realistic sea effects as well. I might install that a little bit later. Probably there's a couple of the environmental enhancements and Scatterer. They're not. It doesn't say they're splash. Oh, Eureka! Oh, brilliant. Okay, so auto-saving. Brilliant. So I'm going to try Scatterer later to get the sea mods in, but I do need to make sure that we are sat there stock still. But we do need to make sure we can get the mods don't put too many mods on at the same time. Try those in different pieces. Right, how do I get? And we're back here, and I've just because I figured out how to the next part of the mission there. Just noticed we've got science points up here as well, unless that's some sort of scoring system we're using. But these missions here, what I didn't quite fully understand is that for that first mission, the Dawn of the Space Age type step, if you like, there are lots of different, they call them waypoints here, this is what's confused me, but they're different steps. So the next step we have, which is this now, must build a vessel K7B, and that's that's got to go up to a higher altitude one. So we can go straight to the VAB and start that mission there. But I think I shall leave that for the next programme. Or the next episode rather. But, thanks a lot for joining me. If you've liked the episode, please hit the like button. Let me know what you think below. If you want to see some more KSP, if you want to throw some ideas at me, please do so. If you just want to abuse me in the chat, again, carry on, because I can either have a chortle at it, or if it's too offensive, I'll just delete it. As simple as that. But anyway, thanks a lot for joining me. We'll see you all in the next one.